Bitcoin weekly Gaussian channel has turned green for the first time since 2019. What does it all mean? Well, that's what we're going to make this video about today. We're going to interpret the data for you. We're going to look at what it means for the short term, for the long term, and what it says historically speaking, going back in history. We're going to look back all the way since the inception of the Gaussian channel turning red at the beginning of Bitcoin. But first, do not adjust your screens. I am this orange and crispy. Apparently been hanging out with Trump too long. I was outside in the sun all day, every day over this weekend. So yeah, apologies if I look obnoxiously orange, but that's the damn color. Okay. All right. So let's get right to it. We'll come back to this chart in a minute, but for first, the people that have attention spans of chicken sandwiches, we need to go back and look at the most important stuff first. So looking back at the whole history of Bitcoin with the weekly Gaussian channel, simple as I can make this chart. Gaussian channel and the price, right? The price is in blue for all you illiterate mother. So that's what we're looking at. So now you might also wonder, why the hell is the channel not green here? Well, on the BLX, it's a 1 session delay. So being on the weekly chart, this will update to green at the end of this week's close. Okay. So just throwing that out. Okay. So we're pretending this is green now because it is on the Bitcoin chart. Now we're going back in history and looking at the previous cycles all the way back to 2012 when it first turned red. And then look at the price. We have a rally in the red, bring us out of the bear market, going into a new bull cycle. Once this turns green on the weekly, it's go time, right? Historically, 100% accurate so far that the bull run is here, the lows are in. Okay, so going back to 2012 to 2013, 2014 rallies, prices on top of the channel's green, go time, not immediately, right? Fluctuation still up and down. Doesn't mean the price has to indefinitely go up. It's certainly right when the channel's flipping. There's a lot of kind of turmoil and fighting of bulls and bears. That's how we turn from red to green, right? We're pulling ourselves out of it. And, the months and up to 3 to 6 months, even longer, the most current cycle took a little bit longer this time. This most recent past bear market, right? But that is historically what this means, right? Looking at the first cycle, took a couple months, price action on top, and then go, right? Next cycle, red, bear market, right? Price rally out of the red towards the end, pulls us out, turns the channel green. Look how flat and calm we stayed for, months afterwards, right? And then skyrocket, right? And then new market cycle, new bull run, right? I believe we're really close to somewhere in this phase right now, whether or not we're here or here or here, right? Really, looking back in history, it doesn't really matter, right? Where are we? Who cares, right? The whole point of this video is that saying that, the months ahead or years ahead have good things coming, right? Next cycle, red, bear market, pulls us out, rally towards the end of the red, flips to green. Do prices rally immediately? No, quite the opposite. The last cycle, right? We had even a dip. We had a black swan event. I've said for years that I think minus the black swan event, I think we probably would have held this median line on the Gaussian channel weekly, and then that would have been our start right here. But nonetheless, that was still no fake out still on the weekly Gaussian channel, even in the pandemic black swan event, right? So 100% accuracy in its entire history. Not a whole lot of indicators can say that. The weekly Gaussian channel has predicted the bull market for its entire life with 100% accuracy. So if there's nothing else, you could go with that, right? I like a batting average of 100%, right? That is pretty good to go with, and that's about as simple as you can make it, right? Bear, bull, go, right? When it turns green, it's go time in the months ahead, not the next 4 minutes, 4 days, 4 weeks, or even sometimes 4 months, right? But a year from now, highly likely we're going to be in something towards that, right? I think most people are in agreement with something relatively loose to that. So now let's go back and zoom into what the hell's going on now. And the most important thing we can focus on, obviously, green. That doesn't mean prices have to go up by any means in the next, again, days or even weeks or even months. But historically, this does mean that the bottom is in. The new bull market is getting ready and currently loading. All right. Now, the most important line I'd be watching, or this might surprise you, is this damn hidden yellow line. What the hell is that? That is the 21-week EMA. Historically, that is what really keeps the bull market alive or sends it to patiently waiting for much longer than most people are willing to wait. So that number right now that you need to be watching for is 27,950 as of this week. Why does that matter? Well, you can go back and look at any bull market start, and even this one, right? Look at this candle right here. We have a move, a retest of the 21 week. We went below it, came back, closed above it, right? Bull market still on. Rally up, come back, retest. Where do we fall to? Right to the 21 week EMA. Sink below it, come back, retest, close above it. Bull market still on. Come back, rally up, come back down. Where are we, right? We're coming right back down to it. We're within about $1,000 of it right now. So right at 28K. As long as we don't close a weekly candle below that, bull market still on. However, if we do, right, let's just go back and look at the last time, right? Let's see if there's any differences, right? Let's start with 2019, right? The rally up, channel turns green. We come back, look where we closed below. The 21 week, we closed below it. Did prices fall like a nuke? No, not immediately, right? But turmoil ahead, right? Even if this was the bottom, right? Look how much lower we still went, right? Towards the median line on the Gaussian channel weekly, right? That was likely the bottom here minus a black swan event. So how about that, right? So that's what we're looking for. The close below the 21 week is the key, right? So let's go back and look at the previous cycle before that, which I think we're rhyming with more than the 2018-2019 cycle. I think we are more in line with the 2015-2016 cycle, and I think most people are on board with that. So let's put it back on closing prices. We'll zoom in here. Again, keep in mind we're on the BLX here now, right? So let's put our moving averages back on, EMA ribbon, right? Get our moving averages and look at where look at this. Look at the differences here, right? There are the similarities, I should say, right? Rally up, kind of fall back down. Look at where we hold. The 21 week with the tests, multiple tests, right? Even throughout the whole bull cycle, test of that 21 week with no closing below it. No closing below it on the weekly chart is the key. So that's what we need to be doing, right? 2018, 2019, we're rhyming a lot more with the 2015, 2016 cycle. If you can go look at many similarities, much more of a rhyme than this last previous cycle. Most people are just more recency biased, and they're more familiar with, you know, the things that didn't happen probably before they were in crypto. So this is what they focus on this past cycle. Not to say that this can't happen again, but I would look for the median line to be the absolute low point on the Gaussian channel on the weekly chart, but not even a arguable point until we close below the 21 week. The 21 week is historically where pretty much any crypto rally holds or fades, right? So that is your most important line. Gaussian channel turning green on the weekly, awesome. However, not the most important thing. You need to be focusing on the 21 week EMA. That's where we are right now. 27.9 this week, slowly rising, but starting to level off. Also, this blue line, that's the 100 week EMA. Note just above that, the top of the Gaussian channel, right around 28.3. You have the EMA 14. Let's zoom in here. EMA 14, we've wicked off just today, I believe, just in a matter of hours ago. We hit the EMA 14 perfectly to the T and bounced. So far, so good. Still indecision, long leg doji. Really just a doji, right? Indecision by bulls and bears so far on the weekly. We'll wait for this close to happen, which is actually already happened because we're still on the BLX. So let me go interpret that a little bit more for you. We're switching charts, right? So that candle actually just closed below the EMA 8, I believe. So we're now the odds have improved of us testing that. Here we go. Now we're back to it. We're back to the odds of us testing a little bit lower are improved because we closed below that EMA 8. So our next line was the EMA 14, which we've already tapped. The right below us, right, we're at 27.9 for that, the 100 week and the 21 week. So be mindful of that. And you know, in the days and weeks ahead, that's where you want to hold. If we break under that, it's highly likely we're going to test the 200 week again. That's all the way down at 25.6. And then you can see your median line in the Gaussian channel, which historically is held as major support throughout any cycle, all going all the way back to Bitcoin. We haven't closed back. I mean, note the median line here, right? Look at the tests. Even back in April, test, 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 hold, 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 right? So median line, 21 week, 100 week, right? You have all your levels below you. To the high side, right, for the bulls, where are we looking at if we look up? Well, we just got to break a high, right? We got to just reverse this damn downtrend. We're just putting in lower highs and lower lows. So just put a close in higher than any of these previous weeklies, right? Last week we closed at 29, right at 29K. Previous week before that we closed at 29,281, right? Just take any of those out and reverse the candles and reverse the trend, right? Or at least have a chance to do it. So back to traditional candles here, right? That's what we're looking for. To the move down, to the move higher, right? We're just looking above, get above 30K again. I think we got a chance for a rally. We take out this high again, and we could be in store for some kind of a mega rally. Now, also, most of you are aware at this point, we've been talking about this for over a week now as well, that the Bollinger Bands are the tightest they have been in Bitcoin's entire history. So we're also holding in the upper part of the Bollinger Bands, right? The top half of it, right? You can see the median line, right? That thin purple line right there, also coinciding with the 14-week, also in purple. Bad choice of colors. But that's this. You're leaning bullish by definition because you're above a majority, almost all the moving averages. As of last week, we were above. Now it's a little bit more hesitant, right? We've cracked the ice, but still not broken and fallen under. This is where we start to lose momentum. If we close a weekly candle below the EMA 14 or the median Bollinger Band line, highly likely we're going to hit this, and then we're just on cautious because you could get one of these kind of liquidation kind of events where we just soak up a lot of liquidity. Like, see all these little lower tails, right? This could easily happen if we start to close under the lower half of the Bollinger Band. So that's what I'll be watching for this week. A close under 28.7, 28.8, and we start to play those odds towards one of these levels, right? Your buy zones though for me are going to be anywhere in this area from like 28.5 to all the way down to the 200 week, right? Stage buys, leveled buys, dollar cost average buys, all the way down, right? So his 200 week would be a nice gift. I doubt we'll see that again. We could with a wick or something like that, but all you have to really, if you want to make it simple, just don't close below the yellow 21 week EMA, and bull market's still intact. All right, so let me know if you have any questions. You want to see something else? What'd you like? What you didn't like? Happy to take it. Try to read all the comments. Anything else? Let me know. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we're at neutral, but we're slightly under 50 now for the first time. So maybe a little bit more fear than positivity in the market. I think that's a pretty good thing. A pretty noticeable sign, right? But altcoin Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we're still in kind of in limbo here. Altcoins are trying to lift off. Bitcoin's not letting it, but we're not in Bitcoin season anymore. We're kind of stuck in the middle here. We need to see that rise for if Bitcoin jumps back up again, we want to pay attention to this number. We need it to move higher if you want alt season to come again. Quote of the day: "We boil at different degrees," by Clint Eastwood. What pisses you off the most? All right, car of the day. Lamborghini Centenario Roadster in full exposed carbon. This is my favorite Lamborghini in world history. And there's the rear. I think this is the best rear in any kind of hypercar that I've ever seen. The taillights, the fins, I mean, it's just all spectacularly put together in my opinion. So I actually have one of those in the yellow right there. That's that one that you're seeing right in front of you. All right, I'll wrap it up there. Comments, suggestions, new subscribers, let me know. I'll see you on the next video. Appreciate y'all watching this long if you have. I'll see you on the next one. I am really orange.